All right, back again here on Ring Takes here. We're heating up again on the road to WrestleMania. The booking has gone completely off the rails. I'm going to spoil things for you guys. The booking has gone completely off the rails. We're going to get into it. Obviously, Wrestling Spotlight's own Sonny Cain is back with us this week as we continue our road to WrestleMania 42. Join us.
Oh my God! So close! He kicked out! He kicked out! He kicked.
All right, back again. Ring Takes episode 144 here. We're on the road to WrestleMania, of course, with Brian Lewis. I'm Daniel. Of course, we got Wrestling Spotlight's own wrestling legend, commentator, Sonny the Man Eagle Cain with us as always. Thank you, Sonny, for joining us here.
Yes, sir.
It's been an interesting week in WWE. Its own, I guess, CM Punk calling them out, ESPN going around. But the one place I want to start with is Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. On SmackDown, we got the reveal that people have been waiting for. The voice that Randy Orton has been getting orders from is no other than NFL punter, college game day analyst, sometimes WWE commentator, Pat McAfee is the voice that has been giving orders to Randy Orton in the lead up to WrestleMania 42. This is fantastic. This is awesome. Don't you guys think?
Can I start?
This is fantastic. This is great.
It's amazing.
Go ahead, Sonny. What's your thoughts on this? Because the internet was set ablaze with this reveal.
Can't stand it. You have to be from another planet if you don't think that The Rock is behind this one. I mean, come on. He has told Cody Rhodes for over a year now he's going to get him in the end. He said he'd be making an appearance sooner or later in the end. He's the head of the TKO board. He sits in the head chair at the head of the table. We're not done hearing about The Rock as the final boss. And I would feel better, much better, knowing that he was behind Pat McAfee rather than Randy Orton just listening not only to the voices in his head, but to Pat McAfee of all people. I mean, how can Pat McAfee hope to help an established star like Randy Orton? It just doesn't add up to me at all. It is the craziest outcome of a storyline that they've had all year so far, in my professional opinion. It's got to be a Rock move.
Has to be.
So, do you guys remember during Danhausen's debut how I said that thank God that we weren't recording the show on Saturday night because a couple of days that went by and I kind of did some thinking, try to put things together as to why the debut was so bad, and I was able to calm down. Well, that's not the fucking case with this. I've been sitting on this. For like 4 days, and day after day after day leading up to this show, all I keep thinking about is how freaking stupid that this whole booking decision is. And again, it all goes back to what we talked about last week. As a matter of fact, we've been talking about this since the match was announced. All of that history, 20 plus years of history between these two competitors. And this is the second week in a row that they're using a celebrity to tell this story. Last week it was Jelly Roll. Now it's Pat McAfee. And again, they have literally, for me personally, taken away all of the interest and intrigue that this match was supposed to be. This had the potential to be probably one of the best stories that they could have ever told because the history was right there. I think Daniel, I shared a clip in the chat of one of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes interactions from back in the day when Cody was in Legacy and they were in Survivor Series. And there was tension between Cody and Randy, and I remember I had said, "Gee, why couldn't they just use this clip to kind of tell the story of Randy and Cody?" There's so many other things that they could have done, And literally to go in this direction when you had the potential of making this such a monumental story, but based on the history of these two guys, it's completely ass backwards. I mean, you see all the reports about them saying that this was a TKO decision, not necessarily WWE creative, and I don't really care too much about the reports, but this is one of those times where actually I'm going to ride with the dirt sheets on this one and actually say that it's true, because it's the second year in a row that they've done it. They got involved last year when Rock got involved and wanted to pitch his own storyline, and then when they didn't want to do things Rock's way, Rock disappeared. So this is the second year in a row where the suits are getting involved in creative, and when suits get involved in creative,
Hollywood call, movie obligations.
Exactly. When the suits get involved in creative, it all goes backwards. UCW is a prime example of that. I don't understand. I get it. They're thinking business. They're trying to sell tickets. TKO doesn't give a shit about the fans, guys. They never have. They never will. It's all about dollars and cents to them. To them, adding Pat McAfee means, we have this guy on ESPN who's going to help us with the partnership and anything. And nothing against Pat McAfee. I got all the love and respect for him in the world. But he doesn't belong in this story. He doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. And again, this is TKO thinking about money.
He's a great guy. He's
creative
in the wrong place
about the fans, and it's just all out of whack, literally. And they announced the match cards for WrestleMania this past Tuesday. And it does look like Cody and Randy is going to main event. I even threw it out there in the chat. I'm so not interested in this match right now. I wouldn't have even been surprised if it opened the show. I know they weren't going to do that, but the intrigue for this match has dropped so diminished so much, in my opinion, that they should just open the show at this point, because what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the only explanation. It's the only way to describe it, Lewis.
No, yeah, I know. See, I guess I'm not as outraged, but like I have the same sentiment where it's just like this shit it's just dumb and makes no sense. I still have hopes for the match. I just pray that McAfee doesn't get involved and we have another Travis Scott situation.
It's happening.
I
it's
really,
the exact same situation.
He's not just going to walk out there and not do something.
I know.
Situation.
I don't want it to happen because if we're gonna rinse and repeat from last year, like we just think that celebrities are just the key to WrestleMania now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not. Yes, you get these big names, but do something meaningful and impactful. Don't just throw random shit to the wall and see what sticks. Because when I saw Pat McAfee, I was like, for what reason do you need to be talking to Randy? Yes, you were a commentator, but it's like there is no connection whatsoever to you to Randy. If this was something like with Michael Cole, whatever, to it, that makes sense. But what do you have to do with Randy? You could. Randy is a legend, and there's so many people you could have brought in. Shoot, you could have used Batista if you wanted to. You could have used
Ric Flair,
even Triple H.
Ric Flair's still in AEW. I'm sorry.
He's still. But there's just like you could have used John Cena.
He got pegged on this week too, just today, as a matter of fact.
So it's like
WWE.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense why Pat needs to be involved in this. I mean, I'm still having hope off the initial attack that Randy did on Cody. That's what I'm hanging on to. But if we're getting this, it is going to be a shit show, and we're not going to be happy with this match whatsoever. Which this should be the easiest match. This should be the easiest story to tell, and it's not looking that way at all. So I really hope they don't give us a crap fest.
The main events of night 1 and night 2 are supposed to be the easiest stories because they did everything off the first promo. Both of these guys did everything off the first interaction that needed to be done with these, and you could have played on the history. CM Punk and Roman Reigns are doing a better job at it than Cody Rhodes and Randy right now.
Yeah,
way better.
But to speak about Pat McAfee, I don't understand how he fits in this. As I said last week, as I said in the chat, this could have been a plethora of people who were the voices of Randy Orton in his head. It could have been Triple H. It could have been it could have been a guy like Batista, as you alluded to. It could have been somebody from his past and stuff like that that helped him make this decision or something like that. We've seen Randy Orton sell his soul out to the Authority before. We remember. You can just run that back. Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie could have been like, "Hey, you need to be watching out for this guy XYZ," and then she could have been the voice. They could have just flipped it. And she's the one that was giving Cody the warning right in front of his face. Turn around and betray him. Betray everyone in WWE. That would have been an easy sell. But they didn't do that. I just don't understand. To me, it's insulting to Randy for a person who's given so much to the company, going after championship number 15. And this is the best of the story that you can come up with. Like, Pat McAfee is a representation, basically a puppet of The Rock. And now I'm supposed to believe Pat McAfee is this motivator and this guy behind Randy Orton. Like, when it's not needed, because number one, Randy's already going after number 15. There's no more motivation that you need after that. Like, this is the probably last run for him. Why does he need Pat McAfee, a punter from the NFL, a commentator on College Game Day? And I've seen the reports of people saying this is supposed to bring together the ESPN and WWE relationship. First of all, for years prior, before this mega deal between ESPN and WWE, they've had a working relationship. They've had Jonathan Coachman in this role in terms of being that bridge between the two. They've had a relationship. They have a mega deal already in place. How many more viewers is Pat McAfee bringing into that? I just don't get it.
Because before the deal,
I can see him. I can see him bringing the college crowd in because of all the college football. That might be maybe where the focus is coming from. Like, oh, he does all the March Madness, whatever, NCAA, whatever, all that stuff. Let's get all these younger fans. Oh shit, I know Pat Mc. Oh look, he's wrestling. Oh, he blah blah blah. That's the only thing I can conclude it from.
Did anyone take note that Pat McAfee pointed out this is a rollback to the Attitude Era of WWE, and he repeatedly said the word "what," and that alluded to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And so could we be getting though Steve Austin, laugh if you will, Steve Austin's name's been thrown out as returning to wrestling in some form or fashion. So could this be alluding to a return to Steve Austin?
See, Sonny, that's another aspect of this that's just totally ass backwards. How do we go from the history of Cody and Randy to now the storyline essentially being about saving the business? Like, why are we going in that direction? Again, like Daniel just said, one of the easiest stories. This storyline is one of the easiest stories you could tell between Cody and Randy, between student and teacher. And now we're talking about saving the business that Cody Rhodes is leading. Like, what are we doing?
On top of that,
making it seem like he's been champ for like 10 years.
I just threw a question out.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I understood the line.
Yeah, I
understood the line of questioning. My issue is when they're talking about the Attitude Era, the representation of the Attitude Era is Randy Orton right now fighting for the Attitude Era, right? When he was in the Ruthless Aggression era of wrestling, he's literally in the era after the Attitude Era. So we're not even in the right era if we're using the catalyst being Randy Orton. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand this. There's so much history between these two. You can even talk about this without even bringing up Cody Rhodes being Stardust or whatever the case may be. Legacy was good enough story for a year and a half to touch into that. Like, I don't understand it. There's so much history here between these two men, and they've completely ruined it with this whole thing. I don't understand why Pat McAfee saying he's going to motivate Randy Orton leading into WrestleMania, and this is to bring back the Attitude Era. I'm like, Pat McAfee, you weren't even around. You were playing football. You weren't even around during this era. I don't. Talking. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say just one quick thing. Let's also keep in mind this is the same Pat McAfee that got choked out by Gunther earlier last year. All right, remember. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out there. It's the same. It's the same Pat McAfee.
I just don't understand this. Where, and then I was arguing with people online. People are saying, "Oh, this is the NXT Pat McAfee when he was trying to do an NXT." I'm like, now you're doing this on the main roster. Like, it's not the same thing. I know WWE has a history of.
He did that. Should have been doing it during that time.
I just
main
don't
roster
understand.
is supposed to be a special place for special stories.
Yes.
Special things to happen.
Thank you, Sonny.
Every match that goes to the PPV is supposed to have meaning and dialogue with the fanfare. And all that's out the window at this point, in my opinion.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it what the whole appeal of this is and why. And again, when talking about TKO and stuff like that, they brought in The Rock. They brought in Travis Scott. Now we're literally a year removed, 2 years, a year removed, 2 years removed. No, a year removed. That was just last year. So we're a year removed from this. And we don't need it. Like, why are you guys doing the same story over again? This is bad. I don't know. I'm just hoping that, as Lewis said, I hope the match is good. I know there's going to be a whole bunch of interference. I know there's going to be a whole bunch of smuck in this match. I just hope it's entertaining. I just hope it's great. And at least we get a good finish. Because right now, it's just like... What did Brian Brian, what did you say about AEW sometimes when you have a cup of coffee and you already have some sugar, but then you overload it with the sugar, you put too much sugar in the coffee and it doesn't taste like coffee anymore?
Yeah, the coffee becomes the sugar. Yeah.
This is one of these moments.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is sickening. Let's keep moving on. To the Raw side of things, the other main event of WrestleMania 42, the main event of Sunday, CM Punk's promo on Monday Night Raw. Basically tearing down Roman Reigns, basically tearing down TKO, basically tearing down Pat McAfee. What did you guys make about this, about CM Punk's WrestleMania pipe bomb?
This is one of the times.
I liked it.
You can go ahead,
I actually joined the show a little bit late, but from all reviews of it, it went over well with fans. I actually sent out a tweet to on X that said something to the effect of TKO needs to bring the prices down so the average person can afford to go to the pay-per-view events and see the pay-per-view shows. And this was before CM Punk did his thing. So for once, we were on the same wavelength. I'm going to say all the way to the bank. I think at WrestleMania it's going to be Roman over CM Punk, but I think it's fantastic that for a year and a half back, I told Gerald Bentley on Wrestling Spotlight we were going into the CM Punk business, and Gerald said, "Really?" And I said, "Really?" And here we are discussing CM Punk every week up until the big fight. So kudos to CM Punk for coming all the way back from having been out in Hollywood too. That's where Triple H sends the big players, is to Hollywood. And now he's showing me that he can stand up to Roman. I do think the takes are a little bit too far over the top from time to time. I'm tired of seeing the pushing and shoving. Instead of pushing and shoving, guys, why not put them in the ring and give us a taste before WrestleMania? And let's see what they can actually do. How many times can you push on somebody?
Yeah, which is why it was very very nice that they went in a different direction as a far. Because we had 2 straight weeks of brawls between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, pretty much them
seems like
trading.
but anyway,
it seemed like that. Pretty much trading who stands up at the very end. So I'm glad that we actually they changed things up once and for all. I mean, this promo obviously draws back to the pipe bomb that he cut back in 2011. Not as groundbreaking as that was, but definitely very, very impactful. And he didn't go and he kind of did go off on a tangent at the end, mentioning Pat McAfee and everything. Although everything that he did say was indeed powerful, but I do like how he connected how like he would say something and then connect it back with Roman Reigns. I loved his comment on the Rock saying that he was a Hollywood superstar, which is very very relevant. We talked about that last year about how he's had some failures with the movie business and everything, but this was a tremendous promo. It definitely saw what a lot of people were expecting to get from CM Punk when he came back. He's just cutting a promo on everything, and for once. I know there's a report out there that he had a writer. I don't believe that shit at all. Because I don't believe it at all. Because Punk has actually said in the documentary that WWE gave to him that like there was a time where like a writer like really came up to him and handed him his promo that he was supposed to do, and he literally ripped the shit up in front of him because he pretty much said, "You can't tell me what's in my mind because only I know that." So I know he went out there, probably had some bullet points and said.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Bullet points.
Yeah, mm-hmm. That was the best of CM Punk on the mic there, and it was one of the. It's definitely going to be a monumental promo that we're probably going to end up coming back to a lot this year. It definitely made it seem like his promo definitely made it seem like there definitely is a rift between WWE and TKO right now. TKO wants things a certain way, and they're kind of interfering with WWE's process, and I wonder if Punk really just did go out there and pretty much tell them, stay the fuck out of our storylines and just worry about other things. Like,
yeah, I thought the promo was great. I thought he hit on a lot of great stuff. Talking crap about Roman, everybody. The one thing I did find funny, and I saw after watching Raw, was like a post of like. He was like, don't be fooled about this whole ticket price thing. He's like, tickets were like, let's say $500-600, whatever, and now they're at like $1,300 or whatever for Mania tickets. But now that Punk just cut this promo, they're gonna bring them back down to the original $500-600. And people are going to be like, oh, Punk actually brought the ticket prices down. It's like, it's a lie. It's all a play. It's all just to buy tickets and whatever. So I don't know. I thought that was a funny point. But, I think it was good to take a break from the whole Brawls. Personally, I always think the Brawls are perfect. Literally just the 2 weeks prior to Mania. It just builds up the animosity, the intensity, the aggression. I think with Punk and them, I think they kind of did it a little too much, and who knows, it could have been like maybe scheduling dates, whatever it may be, but I thought Punk went off real good, just going after everybody. What's funny about the Rock comment, the fact that he said it used to be a movie star, but he's literally doing another Jumanji movie, and then he was also nominated for an Oscar. So I'm like, how are you saying this man's not a movie? And literally, I just watched that movie, the Smashing Machine. So I'm like, hey, you did a pretty good job in that movie. But yeah, this is classic Punk. This is what we love. This is what we know Punk is for. This generation is getting to see firsthand why he's so great on the mic, and to think what he used to do back in the day while in his prime, it just shows you how great he still is. But yeah, it did the job that it needs to do. Who knows what this will lead to? We are seeing the cracks, not the cracks, but like you said, like everyone's on the different side between TKO and WWE now, and it's clearly being seen and heard. And who knows if we'll get like an actual giant uproar, like, yo, you guys got to change all this, or we're gonna be done.
You can go ahead, Sonny.
I think it's just a repeat of the same. I mean, TKO's doing an okay thing, bringing in stars to the pay-per-view events, but I think they are jacking prices up way too high. When Raw comes to Roddy, these seats in the back row where the stars come out, Roman Reigns, whoever, are $100 per chair. we didn't pay that at the Dorton Arena, and we saw the same type fights in the National Wrestling Alliance. I promise you that we're seeing today in the WWE, and we got in for $20-$30. I mean, it tops. And then Mom met Flair and dated him for 4 years. We got in for free for the entire time period of that, front row seats. So, I mean, to jack the prices up to the point that people can't afford to get in or have to put a mortgage, a second, third mortgage on their house to go is just ridiculous. I don't get the whole ESPN Netflix crossover thing either. That just blows my mind that everything is not on Netflix and you just pay, say, $15 more for it a month to get it rather than two separate streaming.
It's the nature of the business in that regard. Speaking about CM Punk's promo, CM Punk's always going to hit the nail on top of the head, right? He went after Roman kind of being the safe champion, kind of being the boring champion and stuff like that, and Punk's more unpredictable and more not as safeguarded as Roman is. He's not as protected as Roman is. And I think that's something that is basically keying up the differences between both of them, which I think is a fair point. Some people might feel that way, some people might not, but it's at least forcing people to pick a side in this one, right? So you're either Team Roman or Team CM Punk. That's how it should be. As for him talking about The Rock, I mean, that The Rock seems to be lurking somewhere, right? And we know he's filming and stuff like that, but it seems like he is a talking point in these subjects and stuff like that. And when you're looking at the family history and stuff like that, you're looking at The Rock, you're looking at Roman, you're looking at the Usos, who were recently involved in this as well. So it's like there's a lot of characters at play, especially with the Samoan dynasty, that's eventually going to be in play at some capacity, hopefully down the line, right? Because we don't want to allude to all these things and then never touch on them, kind of like how WWE has been doing leading up to WrestleMania 42. So I feel like we're going to get something there. As for the ticket prices and stuff like that, it's a different day and age and stuff like that in terms of marketing and putting all these people butts in seats and salaries and bringing the best light show to WWE programming, especially to a PLE. Times have definitely changed, but the price gouging that they are doing, especially, is getting away from regular Joe Schmoes like us being able to afford to get in. And I think that's a disservice to I feel like all sports are doing this. Basketball, football, whenever you look up ticket prices are just going up, 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 and up. And it's very tough to get to these events. So that's one thing that they have to look at. Especially, I think WWE, when they went away from arenas at WrestleMania and stuff like that, when they started going to football fields and stuff like that, I think that's what really changed the game for them in terms of being able to drive up. You got to think about what they bring to a city in terms of when they come into town and stuff like that. But the problem here is that it's Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, Vegas is already expensive. Like, Vegas has already been when I think about Vegas, I think of boxing, I think of UFC, I think of everything else. Like, it's completely different territory than if it was Raleigh, North Carolina, even if it was Boston, Massachusetts. Like, you're not getting the typical fan. You're trying to attract people from LA. You're trying to attack people from Houston, maybe across the border in Canada and stuff like that. So I get the trying to bring WrestleMania to the spectacle, trying to bring all the stars out and stuff like that. But it's just like, are you bringing in the right stars? Are you alienating the fans in terms of people who can actually pay to go to those shows? And I think they kind of lost the track of that. And I think CM Punk, kind of speaking up the voice for the voiceless, is playing on that. And I don't know if TKO said, hey, go talk about this or whatever the case may be. But obviously it's a talking point behind the scenes. And for them to actually bring it to the forefront, to actually say that, I think it's showing that there's a divide between them. What I'm thinking about this is there going to be a point where TKO is the Vince McMahon in this type of thing, and where WWE, are we ever going to get a team Triple H versus Team Rock, where Triple H is facing is the basically a coach or leader of Team WWE, and The Rock is of TKO. And I felt like this, thinking about it over the past week when Punk made the comments, this is very WCW 2000 with the Millionaires Club and New Blood where they were having the old established veterans be baby faces, and they had all the young guys coming up. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a money divide versus the prestige of wrestling and stuff like that, like Roman Reigns, the Usos. We're going to have more high priced characters representing TKO. And maybe in some world we can have Punk, Cody representing WWE in some capacity or something like that. But it's just very. I mean, WWE is the product, but now that we're getting a little bit more of the insights into TKO and stuff like that, like they've interfered in 2 WrestleManias now. It's like, how much more are they going to continue to get in the way of this? And I think the fans are speaking up. I think the wrestlers are speaking up. It seems like there's going to be a divide.
Yeah.
And a toss-out question to the panel, guys. So y'all seen play-by-play on Raw. Has Vince McMahon been mentioned twice on Raw lately? There was a blip on X that said his name had been thrown out there a couple of times.
Been alluded to.
Your
for
thoughts
sure.
on that?
He's been alluded to.
Yeah.
Honestly, whenever people, especially fans on social media, bring up let's go back to the days of Vince McMahon's creative. Just go back to the year of 2019, and I guarantee you guys will definitely change your mindset. What you guys want, we want change. We want creative to be better. We all agree on that. But going backwards to Vince McMahon is just desperation at this point. First of all, he's not coming back to TKO. First of all, he's still in the midst of this lawsuit. This lawsuit is still ongoing right now as we speak. So he's not coming. So he's not coming back. That's just fans who are desperate for positivity amongst the booking, desperate for to get back to the way things were 2 years ago at WrestleMania 40 when Cody won the title and everything was just sunshine and rainbows. Everybody wants that feeling again, and they think by bringing Vince McMahon in that they can somewhat get that feeling, but they're not going to. Look at 2019. Look at the booking in 2019. There's a compilation video on social media right now.
I'd rather see The Rock return and run the show than to see Vince McMahon come back personally.
Yeah, I would rather see anything rather than Vince. I'm sorry, Vince, as I said before, like what Brian is alluding to, I believe I shared it, is like people got to remember the booking right before Vince got out of there. It wasn't great.
No.
There was a lot of misuse of characters, a lot of dumb things, a lot of things that he was going to throw back and stuff like that. And it's just like this stuff was not needed in this time period. We're 5 years or 6 years removed from that. We don't need to go back to that. We do not need to do that. Like let's keep moving forward.
Again. So.
We just need to rough out the edges here, smooth out the edges there, and get it to a point where it's good again in terms of booking and stuff like that and creative. And I'm not saying all things are bad, but it's just like we need to get TKO needs to understand that WWE is a wrestling company. It's not a UFC company. You know what I mean? It's not, we understand sports are getting bigger in life and stuff like that in terms of salaries, production, XYZ. But WWE is not UFC. It's not. It's completely different. Do not treat WWE like a UFC product. I understand people want to do that. It's not the same. Not the same. But let's keep moving on. We have a unfortunate chance of the injury here with Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. They were having a segment backstage, and Stephine Vaquer attacked them from behind. Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez bumped heads. Roxanne looked like she hit the back of her head on the ground. Stephine Vaquer then threw Liv Morgan into a TV. So to add insult to injury and stuff like that, both of these women have been entered in concussion protocol. They both have big lumps on their head. Like this cannot happen at a worse time. Only, 2 weeks, a week and a half away from WrestleMania. This cannot have been a worse time for this situation to happen. What do you guys think about this whole situation?
And they tell me wrestling's not real. Every time somebody says it's not real, I want to take them out back and show them a thing or two. But even in my hometown, I get it from time to time. Not as much as I used to, but I still get it. It's supposed to be timed like everything else. It's supposed to be a little throw and not a full blow. They're supposed to protect each other. Obviously, these two forgot about that, and they crunked heads for real. So the hematomas that they have is probably the real deal. And what I said on X when I gave my picks was it'd probably be Liv Morgan if she's able to return to the ring, winning her match. Folks, it's not what everyone wants to believe it is, and everyone wants to say, oh, it's all 100% fake, this, that, the other. It's not. You get out there, your egos get in the way. People really don't get along in the business. Imagine going to work. I'll use this scenario. Imagine going to work and having this coworker you dislike. You just really dislike this person. And you can get your hands on this person for 5 minutes. And nothing happened to you. Wouldn't that be a real deal compared to someone that you knew and halfway got on with? Think about that. And in wrestling, it's the same thing. These people are working together for a common cause, and they get in there and tempers flare up, and that's what happened here. If tempers flared up, and now it may cost Liv her shot at a world title right now, or it may not. And it's a sad situation. I think they are brawling too much backstage. I think Suits had ought to get involved in it and separate it and leave it for the ring area. Adam Pearce and Triple H have their hands full already enough, but they need to come out and say enough of this backstage brawling. Let's save it for the ring or toward the front of the audience and let people catch their breath. It's not what it was when I was in the business, guys. When I was in the business, it looked more like a sporty competition, and now it appears to be a street fight, if you will. And I know something about that too, because I'm a blue belt in Taekwondo street fighting. But you shouldn't have to walk around the building wondering if you're going to be attacked or cursed, for that matter. In WWE, you got to wonder if you're going to be cursed.
Okay, so Sonny, I actually wanted to ask you a question about that, because obviously we see how years ago, we didn't have any of like the medical information that we have on like concussions now. I've seen like a lot of documentaries of back in the day of old time wrestlers saying that essentially they looked at concussions as stingers, and if you had to work the very next night, you pretty much just had to like essentially put a bandage on it and get back out there. Is that how it was?
Get back out there, yes, sir.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's just a different time. What I admire about the AEW workers is they tape up and go right back. You're out there. I sacrificed a wife and a life to wrestle during the 14 years that I did it. Ric Flair walked out and talked about on a WWE shoot when he was the NWA World Champion that they sacrificed their wives, girlfriends, and lives to do this. I lost some girlfriends along the way too, guys, because I made it clear I was going to do this. And it's a rugged sport. And all these backstage brawls are just making it look like a UFC fight to me instead of wrestling. This is wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm against all the backstage brawling.
All right.
Yeah, I think I've said that. Like, there's too many brawls going on between these feuds. Like, everything is a brawl. And
Everything.
when you take things outside the ring,
goes a brawl.
when you take things outside the ring, there's more chance for people to get hurt. And
yes, sir.
we've kind of seen that, and it's good, as Lewis said, when it's a couple weeks before the event, like a week or two before the event, but it's literally been every week. And I'm like, there has to be something more to this, and it's outside the ring too. Like, it's not inside the ring where it's happening, where they can protect themselves. It's a little bit more a little bit more known. They're a little bit more comfortable in the ring than they are outside. Like, you can fall a certain way. We've seen Liv Morgan hit was it Rhea Ripley, or was it Rhea Ripley hitting Liv Morgan in backstage?
Yeah, it was Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea hit Liv Morgan and took her out. Like, there's a more risk for injury when they get outside the ring. So for me, it's just like they just need to stop brawling like that. We understand what's happening. They've kind of worked up
back in the day. Daniel, not to cut you short, had a plane crash, walked into Jim Crockett's office and said he needed some time off. And Crockett told him flat out, he said, you take some time off, you'll lose your spot. He had on a neck brace. He stood up, took off his neck brace, took off his back brace, and walked out the door wooing. And went right on to work. I mean, that's what you did. I myself had 2 hernias. Didn't know I had them. Had them since birth. Did it 14 years having hernias. Do I encourage people to do that? No, but that was the determination of wanting to be better than you were when you started to get there. I didn't know it. I knew I had stomach cramps from time to time and wondered about it, but life went on. I worked full-time, part-time, and wrestled every weekend. Town cops here in Mount Olive, North Carolina would attend my shows in their off time to see me wrestle and go back and tell the chief of police who had known me since I was 7. And he'd say, well, and just make note and ask him how it went. And they'd tell him I won, I lost. But anyway, it's the passion that keeps you in it. And for these guys in WWE to come out and have doctor's notes and say they're hurt, or in the case of my favorite man, Roman Reigns, saying, I need time off to be with the family, boo-hoo. I mean, if you're going to be this person, Brian, go out there 250 days a year like we did it, and then come talk to us.
Yeah.
You had to until you walk into your house and ain't nobody there. I mean,
so I will say this much: as all of the brawling has been very excessive amongst all these feuds, I kind of like the whole on-site feeling between Liv and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Kind of like okay, no more talking, no more promo segments. When I see you, we're just gonna fight because it has gotten personal with Liv
in the ring, absolutely
back and forth. The backstage segment where Liv started crying, and then Daniel stopped being a fan of her as a result. So all of that has gotten personal to a point where it's like, okay, we're not talking anymore. So that feud, so this feud for that, it's been a positive. It's just very unfortunate because Roxanne, she just got back, and to get hit in the back of your head, in the front of your head at the exact same time. Yeah. I mean, I saw photos on social media of Liv Morgan today. I guess apparently the bump has gone down. Now it's like a red mark on her forehead. I think she's going to be okay. No one Liv Morgan. She's probably, even if she is somewhat slightly concussed, she's going to do this match. It's WrestleMania. Like they're going to somehow make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Lewis.
I mean, I rewatched the incident, and I think it was just kind of heat of the moment type thing. Obviously, Stephanie wanted to come in hot. I think they were just too close to each other when they were talking to each other, that it was just like quick, not even able to react to protect themselves.
Well, Brian,
I mean, it makes for a good story, but it makes for a good story. But it's you don't want to see anybody hurt. You don't want to see anybody get taken out right before WrestleMania. So, hopefully they're good. I think it does add to the feud, but hopefully we make it there. I guess is the big thing. But Liv's a trooper. I thought it was hilarious that all the judgments they were just posing with her and look at this big ass horn that's coming out her damn forehead. But like Brian said, she posted another picture today with the swelling going down. So let's just hope for the best.
It's funny because all these instances where Stephine Vaquer attacks Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez is never around. She literally just left the screen.
Apparently,
literally just left the screen. 10 seconds, nowhere to be found. I love it.
I'd be calling her out. I'd be saying, "Where in the hell were you?" Is what I'd be saying.
I think they're gonna play up on it after WrestleMania a little bit, but it's just interesting that she's never around when Liv Morgan's getting taken out. Roxanne showing up and stuff like that. Yeah. Seems like they're getting a little bit more comfortable with each other and stuff like that. There's been alluding to The Demon being brought out with the attack on Finn, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I guess they need it for WrestleMania. But let's keep moving on. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. Seth Rollins and Gunther, there's a little bit more intrigue there with those two in terms of Gunther essentially saying that Paul Heyman owes him a favor after Paul Heyman thanking him. And I know this was just to tie everything together in terms of why Gunther is facing Seth Rollins and stuff like that, and they needed a story. My issue is Gunther could have just answered Brock Lesnar's open challenge if that was the case. Because obviously the favor is not to join the Vision. That's not what it is. I'm not expecting him to be in the Vision now because he took this challenge. The eluding factor is him facing Brock Lesnar eventually at some point. My whole thing about this whole storyline is obviously it's going to be a great match. Seth Rollins and Gunther are at the top of their game right now. And I guess the only way I can look at this is like an AEW match on a pay-per-view where they throw two guys that can wrestle together that are great and just enjoy it. But I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of the booking in terms of that could have been it. I didn't need all the extra smalls with it. But what do you guys think about this whole setup between these two, Gunther, Seth, Paul Heyman, leading into WrestleMania?
I think it should have been more drawn out. I think we should have had more time to get comfortable with it. I don't think we had enough time to get real familiar with the two being the odds. I think this is a case where a little more story could have been told leading up to it as to why they're fighting. Now we just have two people fighting. I'd like to point out about the realness of wrestling. Blitz went home and her husband got talked to by the police department because of bruises around her eyes and on her face, and Blitz had to convince the police department that it was work-related injuries, that wrestling was real. So I saw that and said, but I think this is too soon to be PPV in this match. I just think we should have more room to run in than we do with it. I mean, we don't have enough story as to why they're there other than Paul Heyman owes the ring general a favor. Well, big deal. Paul probably owes everybody in the industry a favor by now. And show Paul a little more respect, please. He's the oldest dog on the block. He can really make you a star if you treat him well. Be nicer to Paul. That's what I say.
So this match is clearly plan B, and I just felt that personally. All the discourse towards it. Why is there not a story? Why is there not a story? And all of that stuff. It's just like, I understand it may come off as a cop out. It definitely does sound like it, but it is, at the end of the day, it was Plan B. And I know that, and they did at least try to make that connection between Paul Heyman and Gunther. I would have done it a lot differently. I would have just said, well, Brock Lesnar is busy with Oba. The Vision is busy with the Usos. Paul Heyman needs to hire a mercenary to take out Seth Rollins. He hires Gunther.
Something.
No favors. He just hired Gunther to take out Seth Rollins and leave it at that. If they had just left it at that, maybe it would have been a lot more acceptable. The whole favor thing. I know, Daniel, we talked about it in the chat. I'm kind of leaning more towards you now, because it is something that WWE does do repetitively with the whole favor storyline. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. They do it in AEW a lot too. So like that the whole favor storyline is something that's been been played out like crazy. So I get that aspect of it. But at the end of the day, we should just, like you said, Daniel, we should just look at this as like an AEW match. You know, both guys that come in there and try to steal the show. Literally had literally had 2 weeks to try to tell a story. And at the end of the day, we both know these two guys were scheduled to face other people. Those other people were injured at the time, and now here we are back here. You're probably gonna get the return of Braun Breaker at WrestleMania at some point.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, they did the best with it. You're gonna get a great match afterwards. I mean, that's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Shoot, if Braun's cleared and they didn't just bring him back and set up that match, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I will say the one thing I did notice was what Gunther said, though. He was like, I'm not doing it for the reasons people think. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, he'll say something next Monday. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, no, we still have next Monday. And I don't know. I just hope it's something that's interesting and kind of intertwine this in some way that we're not seeing. But I also don't have a lot of hope for that. Again, it was just like, this is the real reason. And we're going to be like, okay, whatever. But hey, we could be wrong. There could be something we don't know. But yeah, as of right now, it just seems like, you got two big stars. They need something to do.
Pretty much.
I feel like there is a way that this could be construed into something. I mean, I do, like I think I was saying offline, like I do get a Brock Gunther match. Plus, people have also been asking for that forever as well.
It's like a couple rumbles
which I think would be a great match. I'd rather see them face off and not just the first time they fight he retires him, because Brock is an animal and they're very two contrasting styles and size. With them, if that's what this is going to, I feel like I'd want to see at least a trilogy between them, just to make it more meaningful and impactful. But I mean, we also know how things are, and they're just like one-offs now. But who knows? Again, we'll see where it goes. Right now I'm just hoping for great matches. We know they're gonna do great at Mania, so well, hopefully there's a meaningful reason on Monday.
Hopefully something that we can be drawn to. Moving on, looking at the WWE Women's Championship picture. They have thrown Io into this as a sacrificial lamb to Jade Cargill's faction. What do you guys think about this build and them continuing to try to get Meechin and BFAB over with Jade Cargill in this situation? Because with the beatdown on Raw, my whole thing about it was Rhea Ripley is being held down by Meechin in BFAB. I'm sorry. That's just not believable. This is the same woman that picked up Nia Jax. that has been manhandling.
He's been handcuffed to the ropes or something.
Yeah. See, Lewis, now, see. That would have made more sense. Why not handcuff her or something, and then you all beat up Io? I don't understand this booking.
Or pull a Randy and then just punt her.
Something. I don't know.
I know. If you don't mind, I'll go first on this one. This build has been so underwhelming. This is one match I'm really not excited for. Again, I feel like, at least for Jade, this is going to be her one shot to really prove, and maybe prove a lot of people wrong. And if we don't, then, as she wins, there's going to be an uproar. Yeah, as much as I'm a huge Meechin fan, but, it's like, for some reason, this should be working, and it's not.
Yeah.
And
it's not working because the booking is bad.
I don't know if they need to.
That's why it's not working.
This group was also slapped together again very, very randomly and quickly, and it's like, why do we really care about this? Why
not?
And
why
one
not?
question I do have is like, we go ahead.
No, go. My thing is this: it's BFAB and Meechin. They needed something to do. Cool. Why not just pick Lash Legend and Nia Jax to align themselves with Jade?
She's busy, Dan. That actually would make you'd literally have a gold faction right there.
Okay, let me ask you a question about that. If they did team up Lash and Nia with Jade Cargill, and Lash is supposed to be the future. You think Lash would have been able to stand out with Nia and Jade there?
Yeah.
So
yeah, she has the stature.
yeah, I think so. I also threw it out there. I was like, this should have been the perfect. So two things I thought of. This should have been the perfect setup for Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend when they came up to SmackDown and they were trying to make a name for themselves early on when they first got called up during those NXT stuff like that, where they were having them go back up and down.
Yeah.
They would have been perfect to pair with Jade right now. And they released Jakara Jackson. She's in TNA, basically WWE affiliate. I'm like, why didn't they just keep her? Now, if we're going to look at this going forward, I was sitting there with Jakara Jackson already released. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, why not call up Jada Parker and Lash Legend and pair with Jade? Like, that probably would have been a better faction between that had credibility, because Jada Parker has, well, both of them, Jada Parker and Lash Legend from NXT, had credibility coming up on the call up. And we've seen them in the Royal Rumble and stuff like that. So it's just like, I don't understand the booking decision. Hey, let's just pair them together and see what happens. That shouldn't happen for your main women's title match. I just don't think that should happen leading up. I don't know. It's just confusing.
It's almost like they should have taken the AEW approach with this match, because we were just talking about it. Like, you got Jade, you got Rhea, you got these two athletes here. It's a dream match. Here you go. Because literally, like you said, the booking for this match has been so atrocious. I don't even think the build for this match has had any positive moments, because their first segment together was clunky. Their next segment together wasn't too good, and then the segment after that is when Michin and B-Fab got involved. And like, there's been no positivity with this story. Like, literally, we're going into this match just hoping that the match is great, but even there's an uncertainty with that because of Jade's performances lately have been questionable. So it's like there's no positive interest in this match. The story is not good. The match might not be good. It's literally just like let's wait and see the train wreck. Like,
they should have just done montages of them working out and them just going over their history and stuff like that. That's it.
Yeah. To Brock and Rock from SummerSlam 2002, and they showed them working out and stuff.
Just keep it simple.
One thing real quick. With the whole EO thing, you have her over here, obviously teaming with Rhea, they were a tag team. Why are we randomly getting an Asuka promo out of nowhere? Like, that's still a relevant feud?
Yeah. So I saw a report about this.
I saw that, and I didn't.
You saw the same report about how they want to do.
I didn't see the report.
Yeah, so the report that's out right now is that they want to do Io versus Asuka at WrestleMania, but they're waiting to see if Nikki Bella is gonna make the match or not, because she has the ankle injury. Because if Nikki Bella can't go, then the Kabuki Warriors are gonna take the spot. So they're waiting on Nikki Bella to determine if they're gonna do Io versus Asuka or not, or if the Kabuki Warriors are gonna take her spot.
They're preloading a feud.
That's the report.
Case. My God.
I think it's too little too late. I think they should have been promoting Jade in this way months ago.
Yes.
For them to come out now and make her the prima donna at this point in the game, it waters down the effect. And for her to be paired with two people you don't really know that much about, when they could have gotten Nia Jax and Legend in there, people you have more of a bond with, it would have made for a stronger storyline. And for them to, again, as Daniel was saying, not have Rhea at least handcuffed to the ring or something, it just didn't make any sense to me. It made me want to watch something else during it. I mean, it just, if ever there was a match to go get something done for me, that was one of them. So, just boo all the way around on TKO for that one.
I don't know what they're doing. So far right now, Io is not on there, Asuka's not on there, Kairi Sane's not on there.
And they deserve to be on there.
Tiffany Stratton's not there. Ilya Dragunov is not there. Carmelo Hayes is not there.
It's like, it's very simple. Just announce Io versus Asuka, and then if Nikki Bella can't go, just make it a fucking triple threat tag team match. Like people didn't want the Bellas in the first place anyway, so you might as well just make it a triple threat. Unless in ring wise, you'll get a better quality match.
And it's not Jade's fault. I mean, she got dealt a hand. She's trying to play it out the best she knows how. But it just makes her look stupid to me to be an eye with nobodies at this point in time in the game. And at this point in time in the game, that's what they've done to her. They've given her a couple of nobodies.
It's a disservice because, one, they don't let her wrestle.
That's right.
They put her together with two people that she beat repeatedly on TV.
Right.
They got hurt, first of all, so no fault of them. They got hurt in matches with her and stuff like that. But to just throw them together in the biggest matchup of Jade's career, first of all,
makes no sense.
It just doesn't look good right now. I don't know. I wanted to talk about the women's tag team division, but it's just wash, rinse, repeat with that, with people just interfering in their matches and stuff like that. I guess Bayley got a win finally.
Finally, get it any way you can.
I guess she got a win, but it's just like, I don't know. But the booking for
WWE, the purple hair.
She was on Randy Rhodes' show this week on YouTube, so I guess that's something. But yeah, with the WWE booking, it's just completely off the rails. We're gonna see what happens on SmackDown this week. Obviously, we got Cody Rhodes coming back out and stuff like that, and basically addressing Pat McAfee and stuff like that, which is cool and stuff like that. At least it was some fire from Cody Rhodes on that end. I just don't know, and I guess we're gonna see what happens on SmackDown and Raw.
I'd like to say what a difference a year makes, because last year when I was watching WrestleMania live as it was happening, I was actually excited to be there, and this year just seems completely the opposite. It's like 6 matches of nothing going on for 4 matches of something. It just doesn't seem right to me.
It's not. Again, I love wrestling, so I'm going to watch WrestleMania. But it's just like, this is one of the lackluster builds to a WrestleMania that I can remember. It just doesn't. It just seems like there's so many.
There was more building up than this. I mean, you had better stories, I thought, during COVID. So
it's just so
or
up and
the heat of
down.
COVID.
There's so many high points and then low points. It's just like there's no consistency with it overall. But we'll see what happens next week with those guys. Let's move over to the other side of things. AEW Dynasty is taking place in Canada, April 12th, from British Columbia. Only 8 matches on the card. I was surprised to see that. Maybe they'll add some pre-show stuff, but I'll let you take the lead on that, Brian. There's only 8 matches here.
So
I'm gonna watch this one.
So I actually don't have the card up right now. Do you actually mind about pulling up the card?
Oh yeah. So the pre-show is Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir. That's a matchup that's going on. We got the tag team AEW championship match between FTR and Cope and Cage. Obviously with Cope and Cage returning recently, they're going to be going up against FTR for the AEW tag team championships. A lot of heat on this one. But what do you guys think about that one?
Okay, so I just want to say before we get into AEW, so this is actually going to be a very monumental pay-per-view for AEW, because this is actually the first time where like they're doing a pay-per-view literally less than a month after their last pay-per-view. Typically, their pay-per-views are literally like 2 to 3 months, the space 2 or 3 months apart. They're literally doing this a week, literally less than a month after Revolution. So this is actually going to be very, very interesting to see like. If this is going to be a success for them, and if they're going to like shorten the amount of length between pay-per-views as a result, we're definitely going to see that this weekend. But as far as the tag team title match goes, obviously this was you saw that on Revolution. You saw Cope and Christian come back. I mean, there's literally been 3 weeks of build of them just hunting FTR on both Dynamite and Collision. Christian supposedly is supposed to be a babyface in this character, but he's still keeping that heel demeanor of being.
Didn't he almost swing the chair on Renee?
Yes, I was just about to bring
I
that
did
up.
see that.
That was so hilarious. Like everybody's in our way, and he's about to hit Renee, and then tries to stop him like that. That's just entertaining stuff from a Christian Cage. But FTR, one of the best tag teams in the game. Pretty much anybody that they pair up with, they bring them up to their level. They're definitely going to pull something out of Edge and Christian at this point in their careers, where this might be a very good tag team match. I'm expecting Cope and Christian to actually come out on top. I mean, it is in Canada. Everything is just lined up for them to finally win, because this feud has been going on for months and months and months. Because Edge and Christian were out for a number of months. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a great match.
Yeah, I don't know. Something tells me that just because the way FTR has been, and they've been the Destiny heroes for a while, something tells me that somebody's going to come out, screw them, and we'll probably get like a triple threat, because I feel like, because the Young Bucks want a rematch, and then you got these guys coming back. I feel like a big tag match is coming. So I do see FTR kind of retaining, even though I don't want to. I feel like they've kind of lost their steam a little bit. I'm not saying that they're not great, they are, but I think, I don't know, this like iteration character with them, like I want to see something different, I feel like their heel runs are usually pretty similar, but I don't know, maybe just something different. But I do kind of see them retaining, just because you got the stuff with the Young Bucks. I see another big tag match coming down the line, so that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts, Sonny, on Cope and Cage returning to take on FTR?
I'm thinking it's going to be FTR on this one, because FTR doesn't look like a wrestler, really. He's not he doesn't look like he spends hours in the gym toning and those kinds of things. But in the ring, he can go. And if you doubt that, just watch him week in and week out on AEW. I mean, he's taking on everybody, and he's in the ring 20-25 minutes on some bouts. And so stamina-wise, he's got it. And I just think people look down on him because of his character portrayal, I think, as FTR are at this minute. And that's from working a gimmick that may or may not suit you, but the man can wrestle. He's going up against John Moxley and various people of the Death Riders the past 3 weeks. And he's hard to take out action. So I did not care for his disrespect to my friend Ricky Steamboat, one of my trainers back in the day.
I think you're getting confused with FTR and MJF.
Yeah,
there.
Anyway, they he is who he is, and I think it's time for his build up to continue, and I think he's going to continue running.
Okay,
let's keep moving on here. We got Jon Moxley taking on Will Ospreay for the Continental Championship. Jon Moxley's been going with that title for quite a bit now, a little bit here for the past couple months. Now he's going to take it on Will Ospreay, who's looking to go after the Death Riders and stuff like that. So what do you guys make of that matchup there between those two guys?
Will Ospreay. He's going to tear him up, I think.
Now, having him back has been a breath of fresh air, because he really is one of their top guys over there. I mean, this is a revenge storyline, because Moxley and the Death Riders took out Ospreay when he was having his neck issues and having neck surgery months back. Dynamite tonight to kick off the show. I mean, the whole story since Ospreay has been back is, Mox has been speaking the subliminals that, like, hey, there's one of you and there's a whole bunch of us, so you need to be careful when you're attacking us back. And then to kick off Dynamite tonight, Ospreay came back with members of the United Empire stable from New Japan, plus his fiance Alex Windsor. So now Ospreay has support, and they had a huge backstage brawl to kick off the show. So now you're seeing that Ospreay has support, and it's definitely going to be a great match between them. I mean, honestly, as soon as I saw everybody fighting backstage, first thing I thought of, this feud is not over. This is going well. This is going well past Dynasty, and we're going to get that NRP in the arena match between both parties. That's the way it's right now. But I honestly don't even know who's gonna come out on top. You would think Will Ospreay first pay-per-view match in months, he should come out on top. But then now that the Continental title is on the line, though, you would think Moxley's been having such a good run as champion, so maybe they want to keep it on him. It really is a toss-up. But I just know it's going to be a great match because Ospreay always delivers on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I love having Ospreay back. I think he looks great. Fits right back in. He's definitely one of their top stars. Yeah, I've actually been enjoying Moxley's little run. He's in this weird, like, he's a heel.
Tweener phase,
Yeah, like an anti-hero, baby face. So it's like I don't really know where he actually falls in this. Obviously, in this story with Ospreay, he's the heel because they took him out or whatever. But he still hasn't been acting like the dastardly heel like he has in the past. This one's a toss-up. I feel like Ospreay could use the win, but I also see. Oh my god, what are they called? Dark Rider, what is it? Oh my god, Death Riders coming out and kind of helping him out to keep the win. Is the title's not on the line though, right, Brian? It's just a match.
The title is on the line. That's why I was just saying that before the title wasn't on the line. That it was for the Ospreay's gonna come out on top. Now that the title's on the line, you kind of don't know.
Yeah, this one's a toss-up. As much as I don't want to go against him, I think I'm going to go Moxley just because, again, he does have the Death Riders. I would like to see... I feel like whoever wins the Continental title never really loses it after winning the tournament. I feel like they might just stick with that tradition. As much as I don't want Moxley to get the win because I feel Ospreay needs it, but I kind of see him getting the win just because of the Death Riders.
Yep. Moving on to the next match, we got Andrade versus Darby Allin for number one contendership at the AEW Championship, a future AEW World Championship match between these two. I don't know much about this one. Seems like these two guys are going. Seems like these guys are going back and forth at each other. Is it Andrade in the Don Callis family?
He is
Andrade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way I say.
Yeah, this is just typically
just a tremendous competitor. Interacts with fanfare real well. Whether they're plants or not, looks good when he goes over to the ring and or side of the ring and mingles with the fanfare. Just a big brute of a guy. I think he's going to go a long way in AEW, if not up to the top, and take the world title. He got a bad run in WWE. Had some misfortunes happen there, but he's back doing his thing. So kudos to him.
Yeah, this whole match is essentially Darby. He kind of added his name to the list of contenders for the AEW World Title. Andrade is already on that list. He called out MJF, and apparently MJF hired the Don Callis family to take out Darby Allin, so he's not a contender. And that's pretty much how this match came about. And Don Callis pretty much set the stipulation that if you go through Andrade, you got a shot at the AEW title. So more than likely, Darby's not winning this match. Because I think they're gonna slow build this thing with Darby, and then eventually when Darby gets the match, there might be the possibility that he comes out on top. So I don't think he's winning. I got Andrade.
Yeah, same. I don't know what it is. I was rooting for Darby to be champion at some point, but
I predicted it last year.
Now at this point, yeah, I was definitely rooting for him to be champ. Right now, I don't know. I don't see it happening because how stacked the top of the card is right now.
They missed the moment. That's what happened because they've been building him up for so long.
I don't even remember which feud it was, or it might have been against Mox. Yeah, exactly. It might have been against Mox where they should have pulled the trigger because they would have made him a huge underdog babyface. Right now, everyone's back. People are healthy. You got Ospreay, Swerve. Obviously, no Hangman anymore, but just a lot of people who are like ready to, step into that top spot. So, yeah, I definitely want Andrade to get the win. I feel like he's been on a great tear. He looks great. He's great in the ring. Oddly enough, he kind of does fit pretty well in the Don Callis family. That hasn't always been the best promo. Obviously, English not his first language, but He looks great. He lets his wrestling speak for himself, and I would like to see him get the win too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they just missed that opportunity with Darby. I feel like where they had everything lining up, everything going right, and then they kind of just pulled the rug out from underneath them. But we'll see what happens with this match, man. It should be a good one. I've always been a fan of Andrade. Darby Allin's always doing some crazy stuff. Maybe we can just get a regular wrestling match out of Darby, and that'll be something that we can go forward with. But let's keep moving on. We got Thekla taking on Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter returning to the AEW Championship line. What do you guys make of this matchup as Thekla defends her title against Jamie Hayter?
Thekla
wins. I don't know. I was just saying Tekla's definitely getting the win. She's hot right now. She's killing it.
Yeah, so this match is an example of what happens when you book the women's division around two women, and then those two women aren't around anymore, and then you look at the rest of the division and you're just like, who else is here besides those two women that you booked the hell out of? Toni Storm is out for
Where's Athena?
Toni Storm out indefinitely, undisclosed injury. We don't know when she's coming back. Mercedes Moné is overseas, losing all of her belts. She hasn't been back since. It's literally just been Thekla. We haven't even seen Chris Statlander on the show in the month. And I remember after seeing her performance against Mercedes, I said that Chris Statlander should be looked upon as a top 5 woman in the division now. But again, she hasn't been around. Mercedes hasn't been around. Tony hasn't been around. You got Thekla out here, who we all love. We love Thekla, but again, it's literally just been her. You haven't been building up any of these other contenders for the title, and now you just throw Jamie Hayter out there. Yes, she's a former AEW Women's Champion, but she's been back with the company for more than a year, and you haven't booked her as such. Now you're just cherry picking her into this title situation now, and now we're supposed to take her seriously as a contender, but you haven't really done much to build her up. You mean you put her in the tag team with Alice Windsor, which has been great. They fit together with the Brawling Birds, as a great tag team, but now you want us to take her seriously again as a contender, but you haven't been doing that shit all year long. She's been losing big matches. Yeah. She's been featured in these mid-card feuds, not getting any title matches. So now you want us to take her seriously, and it's just like look at the rest of the division. Like, why should we take her? Why should we take her seriously now? Again. Yeah. They need to get Mercedes
it's weird
back.
Because
Mercedes needs to be back right now. They desperately need Mercedes on this program.
She's recently lost all her titles. So
yeah, exactly.
The mission is done.
If Toni Storm is going to be out if Toni Storm is going to be out for the foreseeable future, Mercedes needs to be on this show immediately. Either that or Tony Khan, get out of your feelings and get Britt Baker back in here now. Like something. One of the two.
I was thinking about that.
Like, all of her titles now, she can focus on being the world champion again, and just go for the one title. So,
I think I saw Thunder Rosa return. I think I saw her in ROH. I think Athena has been missing. Like, there's been a couple women that they haven't been using that they can be using. So, let's see if they are able to get back on track. There's a Casino Gauntlet match for the AEW TNT title. We'll see what happens with that. We got the Young Bucks taking on the Don Callis family, Okada and Takeshita. Maybe this is where we get the breakup at between these two.
Hopefully.
Maybe it's that time to pull the trigger on that and move Takeshita into a different light. We'll see what happens with that one. And for the AEW World Title match, we got MJF taking on a returning Kenny Omega. This is a big one here, with Kenny coming back and being in the title picture again. So, what do you guys think about this one between
MJF?
I just want to say one thing in regards to Kenny Omega. If Kenny Omega's mic skills were as good as his in-ring wrestling ability, he would be honestly one of the all-time greats. He would be one of the greatest of all time. Because in ring wise, you can't touch Kenny Omega. Like, he always has a great matches. He's always coming out there and putting it all out there. But then when you put a microphone in front of this guy, I mean, this guy comes off so quirky and it's just so bad. Like his word choices, his mannerisms. It's like talking to like a 10-year-old kid sometimes. But some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, it's just like you're trying to build this.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. You're trying to build this matchup, and it's just like, let MJF do all the talking. Like, please, just let MJF do it, because every time Kenny Omega has had a mic in this feud, it's just been like the contract signing last week. Like again, his word choices, his mannerisms. You can definitely tell that talking was not his strong suit, and it's not something that he's been looking to work upon over the years to become better at it. Because at this point in the game, again, if his mic skills were as good as his wrestling skills, he'd be one of the greatest of all time. Because in ring, nobody can touch him.
Yeah.
So, but other than that,
Is that why they paired him with Don Callis? Is that why?
At first, no. When he was Don Callis as a heel, that worked out perfectly. I mean, Don Callis cut the majority of the promos, and then Kenny only had to chime in a little bit here and there. It worked out perfectly. Now he's back on his own, and now he's cutting these promos. It's just like, no, Kenny, this isn't it. You don't sound cool. You don't sound. When you're wrestling, you're cool. When you're talking, you're not cool. Don't stop talking. But again, MJF,
adieu, Brian.
Exactly. even that catchphrase is corny as hell. I bid you adieu, good night, bang. Like what is that? But again,
I still like it.
MJF. I mean, MJF has to come out on top. I mean, we talk every time we talk about the AEW pay-per-view. We've been talking about MJF and how he needs to be world champion, and how the show just has a better vibe with him on top. Like I said during our last review of Revolution, I used to say AEW needs Chris Jericho. Not anymore. AEW needs MJF. Period.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But Chris Jericho is here, and maybe we do need him.
His newest target is Ricochet. I saw something going on between those guys. So
they had a
target, and he brought back the list. He brought back the list.
Did?
Yes. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a clipboard out. I'm just like,
yes, please.
This is the first time. This is the first time where like he's not reinventing himself. He's going back to something that worked. So this is different.
That's good. Le Champion. I mean, yeah, this match, I'm still going MJF. I know Kenny. I don't know where Kenny's at with his career. Obviously, the diverticulitis, they almost took him out and everything. Obviously, definitely took a toll on his body. I mean, I wouldn't mind him winning the title again. Don't know how long of a reign he would have, but I think MJF is still red hot right now, and I don't know. He needs like not just like, all right, who's next? It's got to be like a really good ongoing feud. Like, which I feel he definitely had with Hangman. But he definitely needs, like Brian said, their pay-per-views are 1 and 2 apart, 2-3 months apart. I need, a good feud that's going to have a payoff if MJF is really going to lose the title. So, I don't see that happening right now, but we'll see. But I definitely got MJF retaining, obviously cheating or doing something sneaky, but, that's just what he does.
Yeah, I think it's too soon if they're going to take the title off MJF. I feel like he's been the breath of fresh air they needed. Gives them a lot of star power, a lot more consistency, something that they haven't been able to do, especially with promos and stuff like that. He's been great. As for Kenny Omega, it's good to just see him back wrestling. He's been in and out and stuff like that, dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. So it's good to see him actually back in this moment. And we'll see if he can add something to this title picture and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens going forward with that. But that again, that's taking place. Is it this Saturday? Nope, this Sunday. I forgot. AEW is on Sunday. Taking place this Sunday, April 12th. Check that out. I'll be really willing to watch that. Because WWE, I'm starving for something good. I know NXT Stand and Deliver was this weekend as well. And
a good show, Dan? Is that what you're saying? You want a good show?
I need something. I haven't seen AAA in a little bit, but I need something. I need something. Definitely something. But that's going to be taking place this Sunday. We'll pick it up next week. We're going to be making our predictions. Wait, are we still a week away from that? No, we're going to be making our predictions next week. So
that's next week. Yeah, next week is the go home shows. The go home shows for Raw and SmackDown. So yeah.
Yep. So we got the go home shows next week for Raw and SmackDown. We're going to be making our predictions for WrestleMania 42. We actually have a card for night 1 and night 2. I believe it's 7 matches apiece on each. Going to be fantastic. Sonny will be joining us again as always. Thank you, Sonny, for joining us again tonight.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to be picking back up next week.
I'll be seeing y'all on Wrestling Spotlight tomorrow night.
Yep.
We will.
And
9
we'll
p.m.
be on Wrestling Spotlight with you guys in Main Event Mamas. So we'll be doing that. And we'll go from there. But yeah, we'll check it out next week. We'll see what happens. Thank you guys for joining as always. And until next time, remember to kick out on 2.